It is Will here, back again, and we are here to talk about some really, really important, fun stuff. There's been so much news announced, so much stuff has been dropping today. Oh my god! I woke up this morning, guys. There were like 5, 6 announcements on Facebook. I was barely fucking awake. I was like, "What is this shit?" Joker, Anakin, Black Common Rider, whatever the fuck that is. I don't know what that is. Mark 7 suit up, guys. We had League of Legends. We had the symbiote Spider-Man, guys. There are so many cool things out there, and we're going to discuss them all. I didn't want to make you guys wait too much longer. I didn't want to make you think that I forgot about you. But I promise Optical and PJ will be here. They're just running a little bit late. PJ, I knew about Optical. I think is just running behind. Guys, thank you so much for joining me this fine Monday evening, 7:07 p.m. I think I'm going to title the show Big Picture Collecting. That's kind of what I'm thinking, because that's what it is, right? We're talking about big picture topics, and we're talking about news and all that good stuff. So, guys, it's going to be fun. Thank you for joining us this fine Monday. My panelists will be here, I promise, like I mentioned. In the meantime, let's address the chat. Of course, what you're seeing on the screen, you're seeing all the amazing announcements that we got this Monday. Really, really excited about it. Some comments definitely have been interesting. So I want to talk about a lot of cool stuff, which we will talk about. That said, Tragedy Tales, let's go. The hype. What is up, bro? What is up? Luis Jimenez, Star Wars all day. Hello from Bogota. Hello, Luis. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Swoosh is here. What is up, Swoosh 616? Pop Rain. Do you think a Spider-Man will come out, but classic with many lines and short? Maybe Pop Rain. It's Spider-Man after all, so I don't rule anything out. Optical, dude.
Dude, are we live now?
We are officially live, bro.
Why did you send the link like just now?
Dude, I sent the link earlier today, and you guys didn't answer me. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to go live, and they'll show up eventually.
I was waiting for the link because you were like, oh, 7:15.
Dude, because people were commenting. They were like, late. And I was like, well, they aren't wrong. So I'm just gonna start. And I was like, I'll just talk and I'll fill dead air.
I thought it was like 7:15, but all right.
Nah, bro, we're good, man. Don't even worry about it. But dude, how you doing, man? There's a lot of shit to talk about.
I picked the perfect day to work from home. My boss is probably like, why is this guy not online yet? I was making videos. That's why. I have 4 videos to make, sir.
Why is he AFK? Dude, I woke up this morning and I saw so many like announcements on Hot Toys. It was like one, and then like 20 minutes later, like, oh, there's Joker, and I was like, damn, when is it gonna end, bro? They were just dropping one thing after the next after the next. It was wild.
I was, because you're one hour ahead of me, so I was like contemplating. It was like 6 a.m, and I'm gonna work at 7:30 anyway, and I was just like, but I'm from home, so I can get up anytime. So I was just like,
right.
Should I get up now and make videos, or should I time it when I'm about to work? Just like,
dude,
so I get paid while working a video.
Well, because the Anakin thing, I thought for sure that was going to be announced sometime soon. Anyway, Joker, we'll talk about. Joker was just a bombshell. No one expected that one to drop today.
Right? At least today.
I mean, we knew it was coming eventually, but
that wasn't even sure. I wasn't even sure about that. I was kind of hopeful, but I wasn't, because it's when you put out Joker, that's a direct fire. You know, dude. that's war.
And rooted.
That's why I know we're gonna tackle that, but I thought it was gonna, wait till the storm calms down, kind of like a friendly competition here. But no,
bro. Hot Toys literally brought the storm today. They were like, you know what? Anart ain't dropped anything all year. We're gonna drop 5 in one day.
In one day,
in like an hour. So they aren't releases. They're announced.
It's not even 5. Is it 5? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it is 5.
It's like 6.
No, 6. Yeah.
I mean, more than that, because you have Joker, Anakin, Mark 7 suit up, symbiote, the League of Legends thing, and then the 2, I guess, anime characters and the bike. So it's like almost 7 or 8.
Almost 7. Yeah.
Like,
so those are 2 different characters.
Yeah, 2 different characters. I mean, as far as I'm aware, they look different.
Oh yeah, there's one's green, one's red. You know what? Right. I'm Asian. I'm pretty sure I watched this when I was a kid. I don't remember it.
Do you really? Okay, is that because I had to look it up and I was like, what is this? Yeah,
this is an old school kind of like Power Ranger kind of thing.
That's what I saw. I saw people were likening it to Power Rangers. People were comparing it to that.
But he's a one-man gang. It looks familiar. I'm sure I've seen this. I just don't remember it.
Dude, it's pretty wild. We're gonna talk about it, but let me see, where was I at? We talked about Luis Jimenez. Giovin is here 1 minute late. I know, bro. That's why I just started. I was like, Optical will always show, bro. He'll never leave you hanging. So I was like, he'll be here.
It's the link, man. You didn't post the link.
It's the link, bro. I sent that link out earlier today. I just sent it again because I was giving you a gentle nudge, bro.
Okay.
I was like, where the fuck are these guys? 1-6 shooter. Anakin went quick on Pop. He did, bro. He was like 500. I don't know if you saw that Optical on Pop Collectibles. Anakin was like $540, and he went in like fucking 5 minutes or something. Yeah. So that goes to show, which we will talk about. 1-6 figure shot. Hey, what's up? What's up? Keith Lee is here. Ranked Black Suit Spy. Nice, dude. He ranked the figures for today. It's pretty nice. Riley Reviews is here. Good to see you, Riley. Gilbert Almazan, this Anakin, looking like straight. I mean, maybe, but I guess we're gonna find out. People are still gonna buy it though. Dinesh, hey, what is up, Dinesh? Good to see a channel member. Dinesh, Destin Foy, Mark Attack is here. Mike Fayella is here. Sergeant Sal Collects, Army of Hades. AJ Agarusa, channel member. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Nothing chaotic happening. Yeah, nothing caused this, impromptu live stream. But Optical, bro.
Nothing major.
Dude, let's start with something. Let's start with something here. Let's not fuck around at all. And that we'll come back to that photo, right? We'll come back to that. We're gonna hit, I think, probably the most hard-hitting topic that we have. And this is a meme that I saw. It was shared in the Collecting Weekly group and stuff like that. Begun the Joker War has. It has, dude. The Joker War has been. Well, InArt started it. I mean, InArt fired the first shot. They said, you know what? We know that Hot Toys has been remaking all this Dark Knight shit. We know they're going to make a Joker, and we're going to get it first. And we're going to take the first shot. And they did. And it sold pretty well, apparently. I don't know. I mean, I don't have their sales records, but apparently it sold pretty well. I remember at one point it was floated somewhere between 10 to 15,000 units, right? So this, I don't know if that's accurate, but this one has, I think, 4,000 units. How many will Sideshow get is the question. With the Peter Parker advanced suit, I think they had 3,000 worldwide and Sideshow got 1,000 of them. So with this Joker, if we kind of extrapolate that out, if you have 4,000 Jokers, maybe Sideshow gets 1,500, 2,000, maybe. That shit's gonna go fast. Optical. I wonder if you and I are gonna be different on this one. I wanted to say InArt. Is the Hot Toys Joker, will it satisfy collectors? Because honestly, dude, I've seen everything across the map in the comments today. I mean, what do you think is really gonna be the consensus here?
To answer, collectors are not satisfied to begin with. You can shrink down Heath Ledger himself, and they'll be like, I don't know about the eyes. It was like, this is literally him. Down.
Yeah. He literally got the quantum in particles.
This is going to be the great debate.
It is.
But bro. if the collectors be satisfied, a good portion will be. Now you're going to have two different groups here: the one who didn't buy InArt and the one who bought InArt. The one who bought InArt would be like, well, this is horrible. This is not even a competition. Well, it is. I tell you now, it is.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with this or not, whether you think this is better than InArt or not, my personal opinion, that's going to be the question, right? Whether it's not whether this looks like Ledger or not. Is this a worthy alternative to InArt for those who didn't pick up InArt? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime that you have an option, the other option goes down the drain, the value-wise. I wouldn't say completely InArt is going to be irrelevant. No, because in some respects, I would say InArt is better. Like with all the bells and whistles, I think InArt brought more than Hot Toys. All Hot Toys did was rooted this guy. We've seen rolling eyeball system before. DX11 has that. The rooted hair has that. InArt has the diorama. They're also more expensive. They got the second head sculpt. They got the magnetic arms. They brought more. They also cost more and harder to buy with no sales support.
The after sales support for sure. You have that for sure.
Yeah. So it's a worthy alternative. I can tell you that right now. This is not a third party.
No.
Regardless if you feel, and you could be right here. I mean, if you ask me right now, comparing this two picture, the hairline of InArt is better for sure. The rooted hair of InArt is better. I think Hot Toys need to kind of tighten up that hairline right there. But for those who didn't buy InArt because of the aforementioned, concerns, which are valid to begin with, like what are you gonna do if you got key code and key code become like an adjective right now?
Yeah, he has, but he got key code.
You got key code, right? Like who are you gonna call? And that's not exclusive to InArt. You got Tim Cent. Is it Tim Cent? No,
Tim Cent. Toys buying agent Tim Cent. Yeah.
No, you bought Shang-Chi and he got like a little scratch on his face, and
that was from Kit. Yeah,
for Kit. You got Kit Chen. So you didn't return it. I bet you if you bought that from Hot Toys, that wouldn't fly. I mean, from
No.
Sideshow. That would not fly.
Oh no, Sideshow, they'd be like, yeah, we'll send you out one right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you yourself, you're gonna be like, heck no, I'm not gonna accept this.
Right.
But since you bought it from Kitchen, you got it a little bit early, maybe a little bit cheaper. You'd be like, all right, I don't really want to wait, so I'll just
I'll turn his head.
I'll turn his head on the side.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but dude,
yeah,
I'm with you though, Optical. I'm with you. And when I woke up this morning, my initial reaction, and I still mostly feel this way. I think I still feel like this is an L for Hot Toys, and I'll explain why. And I got one really good comment, Optical. I got one not good comment, but interesting comment. So it was almost like this one kind of got to me a little bit because it was almost trying to psychoanalyze. It was like, yeah, I think Will is purposefully not saying this Joker is good because he wants to subconsciously convince himself that the in art is better. And I'm like, I promise I'm not that smart. I'm not that complicated, bro. Like, I don't think of it that I literally look at the photos and I'm just like, well, like, which one do I think is better? Which one is a better value? Which one offers more? So that's why I was looking at these, and I'm gonna bring PJ in actually. PJ, what's up, bro? Oh, you can't hear anything.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I always like to start the stream by saying like not moving.
Okay.
So I'm like frozen.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So we weren't sure if it was your internet or you were actually frozen. Yeah. But dude,
I was pretending to be both.
Oh, okay.
What's going on, man? Thanks. Back
Dude.
again. This is
Dude,
like
I know, man.
Welcome.
There's so many things.
Dude, PJ, I can't wait for the hate comments right after this video. I live for that.
For one day, and I'm already seeing like
I know.
some
I know.
reactions.
Well, this time we're not talking about female figures, so we should be fine.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think that would trigger some people, but it did.
Dude, it's okay. It's conversations need to be had.
Well,
but
here's the thing too. I was gonna say, thanks for having me. Can you imagine? I wish we kind of did that topic after like Hot Toys announces that they got the Barbie license. Then
dude,
they did?
No, I don't think they did. But that would be pretty amazing, actually.
I think they will.
The film made 155 million opening weekend.
Better than Flash.
Dude, Flash made like 50.
Yeah.
Like,
dude,
it
imagine
tripled the Flash almost. Yeah, that's crazy. It's insane, bro. Barbie fucking killed it. Oppenheimer did well too with 80, but Barbie like almost doubled it. So yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy.
But dude, so what I was saying, PJ, and I was telling Optical this. So I want people to realize this too, because I pulled up and I'll share something too. The price of the Hong Kong price of what this is, right? Because Hot Toys listed this out. HK 3,380. That translates to about $432 US. Generally, with Sideshow, what happens is they charge about 25% fee on top of that, right, for import or whatever they want to do, right? So you're looking at this probably being about $515 plus shipping plus tax if you buy from Sideshow. So probably about 550. Let's say 550 conservatively, right? So that sounds about right. The in art was about 1,100, I think, a little under 1,100 shipped if you got it from Kit. I always like to use Kit as my reference point because he includes shipping. So 550 shipped versus 1,100, basically that's half, right? So is the value worth it for the in art for the people who got it? The one thing I think I want people to remember is for everyone who bought the in art figure, they knew Hot Toys would eventually make one. Like, I don't think collectors are dumb. They know. You bought the in art knowing that you're pretty much taking a risk buying the in art when you know for a fact Hot Toys is going to make one and it's probably going to have to be rooted based on the current demands in the market. But there's only 4,000 of these worldwide. It's still $550, $500. I think it looks pretty good. I'm not saying it looks bad. I'm just thinking that when I look at this, the tongue. I got a lot of backlash about the tongue thing too. I'm a little surprised with that. The tongue thing, I get he does that in the film, but Optical, is that an iconic enough thing to dedicate an entire head sculpt to?
I'm all for the tongue. I'm all.
I mean, tongue is great in real life, but I don't know about.
He does that a lot.
He does, but it looks kind of just like he's sticking his tongue out, like
because he said like the silicone and all that stuff is making his lips dry or something. So
yeah, I heard that
a lot. So
I mean,
it's removable. Apparently it's not to head sculpt, so you can remove the tongue
but
here and there.
It just looks weird. it looks like frozen in time. Like
I'd rather have the tongue than not have the tongue.
Yeah,
so because you can remove it. So it's I love the fact that it's there. If I can have that with my Michael Jordan, trust me, I would have put that on my Michael Jordan. But I get what you're saying, Will. But put it this way: the reason why in art is a bit cheaper, and I'm saying cheaper loosely, is because it's 1,100. Is because we don't have to put taxes in it,
right?
Because it's coming from Hong Kong, so you don't have to pay tax.
Unlicensed,
But honestly, would you rather have pay tax and have it being shipped by Sideshow? I know I would have.
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
rather pay an extra 120 having that security, because that's the trade-off with the tax. This it's a Sideshow security. That if something's wrong, you can return it. And I'm pretty sure if you ask this to Kiko, he'll be like, I'd return this right away if I want.
Yeah, no doubt.
Or
No
make
doubt.
a replacement. So that's the trade-off that you're getting. It's
Are you getting
good.
this optical?
I will get one. I don't know if I'm gonna get. I don't know if I'm gonna get the rooted.
Okay.
The non-rooted is appealing to me more, honestly. I don't like the hairline of this rooted. Like I'm all for rooted hair if it adds realism, and it only, at least this one only adds realism to a certain angle. In art, like this, well, this angle. Oh no, this is sculpted.
This is the sculpted, yeah.
Yeah. I think the sculpted has, I don't know. I like it better. I don't know. Like it's not because I like sculpted better than rooted, but I don't think the rooted hair is well done by Hot Toys.
So optical, I think it's well done, but we're also comparing it to the standard of InArt. You know what I mean? That InArt is set, and I feel like InArt did the hair better.
I think they did. I think objectively we can all say that, whether you're a fan of Hot Toys or InArt. InArt has more innovation, I would say. The magnets, the base, the swapping of hands.
Well, when they work, but
when they work, they don't really work. But they honestly, they're all bells and whistles. They're not in the grand scheme of things. It's not that big of a deal, right? Like it's if you have the option to get this at a lower price, like this one is like almost $300. I bet you after it's not exclusive, it's not numbered. Wouldn't you want this for like $350 shipped?
So
right?
I think it's going to be about $350 shipped. Yeah. Cause I can share that too. Cause it's $280 Hong Kong price. Then you add the 25%. So you're at about $350, maybe more than that with shipping and tax. So it, cause I created one $350 plus shipping probably. Because 280, 25% of that,
more than the InArt sculpted hair. Because I know if something's wrong with the nose, the eyes, I can return it to Hot Toys. See, between these two, it's not much of a difference, right? Like you get the the magnetic hands or the die cast weapons. I mean, you can't even hold the weapons with those magnetic hands. So I'd take the Hot Toys rooted than the InArt. Not both have sculpted. So
yeah. Well, PJ, jump in. What do you think? I mean, are collectors going to be satisfied? What's your overall thoughts on the sculpted and rooted Jokers?
Well, so we knew this is coming. I think Optical said it like this, a year or two ago, that Hot Toys will eventually make theirs, because theirs is like worldwide license. It's, they could distribute it to, through Sideshow. With InArt, it's different. You kind of have to buy it from resellers and things like that. But I think, collectors will be happy, especially if, they don't want to take the chance with InArt. They're safe with, they're happy with Hot Toys. With Hot Toys, you know what you're going to get. You're going to buy it from Sideshow, and the customer service is top notch. So if anything breaks or you're not happy with it, you can always replace it or return it. That's not the case with InArt. So, but I think that collectors are happy because now we got a rooted hair Joker, and InArt is kind of like doing their part, and that is accelerating the game. Because if we didn't have InArt, do you think we would get a rooted hair Joker at this point?
No.
Or do you think that we'll still stick with sculpted? There's positives and negatives. The negative side is that now, InArt kind of set the tone for the hobby. So their price for their Joker is pretty high up there. It's rooted. It's, like a artist edition or whatever you want to call it. It's a special edition. Now Hot Toys sees that, and Hot Toys sees the noise that InArt is making. And they're like, you know what? We're going to jump in too. And we're going to make a rooted hair version, even though they've done it before. How come the Black Widow, the Scarlet Witch, from Civil War, how come those were $200 and they were rooted? Why is this going to be $500? What's the difference, right? Also, we also had Chewbacca. If you think about it, which is more intricate, like to make This or Chewbacca?
Yeah, Chewbacca's entirely rooted. Yeah.
Yeah, entirely rooted. So if that was like a $250 to $300 figure. So why is everyone trying to jump on the bandwagon of rooted hair when it's done before? It's not like a new thing. I mean, we got also like Optical does reviews on a lot of these like custom made like head sculpts and figures, and they look great,
Right.
and they're rooted and everything like that. So I don't understand why rooted is such a thing now when it's been around for so long, and why are these companies charging primo prices for it? Is it a cash grab? I'm not sure. But all honesty, going back to the question, I think collectors will be happy with the competition, the choices. So if they can't get this Joker, if it sells out pretty quickly, like say the rooted hair sells out pretty quickly, then that kind of helps out in art, because now people are going to say, well, I missed out on the Hot Toys one. I might as well sell it for in art, or vice versa. So
yeah. Well, and PJ, you raised some really valid points. I think the one thing I want to point out, and I know Riley pointed out in the chat and others too, the rooted hair, it's a different process. It's like a wool implantation now. It's higher quality, I will say. So, the other ones, PJ, like the Black Widow and Scarlet Witch and Gamora, they're very Barbie hairish. They're very like, I don't know, this weird low quality synthetic hair that just make it look like a toy. But I think so. Yeah, you do have a point. Like, rooted has been around for a while, but it's been more of a custom sculpt thing because no license company has really been consistently good at it. And I think that's where InArt came in, where they said, okay, we're going to give you something consistently awesome, at least for this first figure. And people were so desperate for a 1/6 heat ledger. I mean, like, the DX11 had been Optical 10 years or something. I mean, it had been a really long time. And people were really hungry for a Heath Ledger Joker, and InArt just beat Hot Toys to the punch. And I do honestly think this looks really good. I think the hair is a huge improvement from what they've done previously. Obviously not rooted, right? But the head sculpt is actually pretty good. The movable eyes is pretty good. We're going to talk more about this, but guys, the exclusivity thing, I mean, this is going to be a big shakeup for this community, because a lot of people are going to want to get this Joker, and a lot of people are not going to be able to get this Joker, and that's going to be something that we're going to discuss tonight, and of course in live streams to come. But that's something people are going to have to wrap their head around, because go ahead, BJ. It's 4,000 days worldwide.
4,000 wows. Well, so I know some people were saying that's the previous figures were doll hair, and this is like lamb's wool, or lamb chop wool. I don't know what it, but can we tell a difference? I mean, I don't know. Like,
I mean, I think I can. And
it's the shiny, because the other ones they used whatever you call that. But I would piggyback on PJ here. We can, there's a lot of things that InArt did good. We can blame them for this, because they set the bar at 500. If you're Hot Toys, I'm bigger than you. I can't be cheaper than you. If we're gonna basically set the same product, basically, then I can't go lower than you. You should be lower than me. Like, I'm Hot Toys,
right.
You're InArt.
Yeah, like, because InArt's not even paying the licensing fees for the US. So
right, like, whether you agree with that or not, that's just how they should think. Because now they're both rooted. Now I would add, Asmus did a rooted beard in here for Gandalf, which is also wool.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. That's $300.
275, and the one with a horse is 375 with a horse. So it shouldn't be that difficult. That crown Gandalf the White is amazing. He doesn't have the root, but the rooted hair with a beard. So to piggyback on you, it shouldn't be this expensive. But we can blame InArt for that.
Well, and that's why it goes both ways. It goes both ways.
Yeah. And that's a great point, Optical, because I totally forgot about InArt. I mean, InArt for Asmus. Asmus has been doing it too, because wasn't Gimli's beard rooted too? Or
although his beard was kind of like the synthetic one, but since they did the crown Gandalf, that is wool. That is this kind of hair now, and that is less than 500. And now the Gandalf the White is 375. Now they're releasing a head sculpt, just a head sculpt for Gandalf the Grey, that is also rooted 125. So that's just an upgrade for your previous figure. If you want to upgrade 125, and the difference between this head and the other one, this is exclusive. What, around 280 maybe from the sculpted?
Yeah, and that was the case with Gandalf versus Asmus. I do think the Gandalf InArt is a lot better than Asmus, but I've not owned the Asmus one. You have, Optical, so I don't know. Maybe at one point you'll be able to compare, but you know, I do just think looking at photos, I see the NR1 and as just higher quality. But you guys are definitely onto something. This goes both ways, which we did a lot of times tell people about too. We said to people, we said NR we think is going to push hot toys and more competition is a good thing. But I said also probably what's going to happen is increased prices, because as the quality goes up, the price goes up too. So as both of these companies are forced to raise their quality, they're also going to be forced to raise their prices, because that's just how it is. I mean, if you have to put more manpower into something, of course it's going to be more expensive now. I mean, and one optical PJ, I want to float this idea to you. One idea I saw floated in the groups today actually was that Hot Toys is going to continue for sort of this rooted hair premium line, if they want to call it that, to keep them limited, to keep it feasible, like to make them, because you have to hand root each one and everything. So if they were doing not 4,000, but 40,000 of them, that would be very difficult. That would be very, so maybe they will make all these rooted hair sort of top tier characters exclusive like this, because that's the only way to make sure they can produce them all. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I mean, that's great and all. And I agreed. I'm all in for exclusivity, right? Just because there's so many products, and it's, you know, there's a lot of dead stock going around, and market's very, you know, overly saturated. So this will kind of like help balance like the market out a little bit. But here's the thing too, is that I wish kind of like with what Hot Toys and a lot of these company does, is that they kind of take the J&D route, where they show you how it's rooted, why you would pay $515 or $520 to buy this figure. You know, if Asmus can do it for so much cheaper, why is Hot Toys that expensive? Why is InArt that expensive also? But I'm all for exclusivity. It's gonna suck for the people that really want it, and are going to miss out on it, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of scalpers out there, or, you know, that's going to try and buy a couple of these and sell them for a pretty penny. So do we know that it is going to be an edition size of?
4,000. We don't know how many Sideshow is going to get though. So that's the question. Anakin, I think, is 3,000 pieces, something like that. I gotta check again, but Anakin's, which we will talk about him, but not that many either. So I mean, you know, look, you guys were aware the advanced suit Spidey, I think, was 3,000, right? The 2.0 that's sold out. I was online, that sold out in like 15 minutes. So the advanced suit Spidey 2.0 from the new video game, he is not Joker and he is not Anakin Skywalker. So I'm thinking those two, when those go live on Sideshow, they're going to crash the website, because if you have maybe 1,000 of those, if you're Sideshow, like I'm telling you guys, get logged in ahead of time, get your payment methods good ahead of time, because a lot of people are going to be you're going to see a lot of Reddit and Facebook posts about frustrated customers, because there's going to be a lot of people that did not get this when they wanted it, and you're going to have to pay more probably if you really want it. So I don't know.
I mean, that was the good old days, right? Like, you know, especially with Sideshow's website, where they're, you know, like when you try to buy a statue and stuff, like it sold out in like, I remember Thanos on the Throne sold out in like 10 minutes and stuff like that. But, and it will help balance the market out. Like I said before, are we sure that the only reason why I'm very skeptical about it, and I mentioned in the last live stream, and I think someone responded to it, is that Darkseid Anakin, that was an exclusive for Sideshow. Remember, it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive.
Yep.
Right. And so, but then you saw it being sold in overseas for like a Hot Toys summer exclusive. So, you know, like it's cool and all, like we're all going to jump in, but hopefully it's not the case where it's like sitting on Sideshow's website for a long time and the exclusive was just a void.
I think this one will be different because it has like, I don't know if they are numbered, but there is a numbered amount. Like there is like, you know, because with the Miles and the Peter and what other ones, like Arena Fett, maybe I don't know, other ones that have done Stealth Suit Cap, they went like super fast. Like, they were like,
I think we have enough data now to know that this shit is gonna fly. People love numbers, even though it's not numbered. When you tell them there's only X number of amount, and that's what InArt could not commit with their Joker. We don't know. Like, we can't guarantee you that this and that. So that's why Josh still has like InArt Jokers. And it's supposed to fly off the shelves, but they cannot commit to a number. You're like, oh, you know, it's limited. It's limited. once people hear 1500, that blue Batman flew off the shelf. Blue
Batman.
The
Yeah.
blue
Yep.
nonsensical Batman
Yeah.
flew off the shelves, and I couldn't believe my mind. A Wonder Woman that we've seen a million times with a different head sculpt, and it flew. It just lost.
Dude, people were fighting each other for it. Yep.
Yeah.
If Blue Batman was gone in 15 minutes, imagine what this Joker is gonna do to Sideshow's website.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Which is,
wild.
and the reason why I'm skeptical is because it's happened before, but now, like, you know, with a lot of Hot Toys products, like, you know, selling out pretty quickly, and the fact that you can't buy them, you know, like anywhere else, it's honestly going to be good and bad for the collectors. Good for the collectors that actually picked it up, because now the value of your figure that you bought just instantly skyrockets, right? But bad for the collectors that missed out on it, because now you got to pay primo just to get the figure. But I think this is what we need when an overly saturated market of all these products, all these statues, figures, shows, movies is just flooding the market, and collectors can't literally keep up. This is a breath of fresh air, and we need this, honestly. Yeah. I know some people might disagree with me, but again, you know, it's just, in my opinion, it's just, you know.
And we're going to talk about that in the next topic, PJ. But what I'll say, just as we wrap this one up, I mean, the poll results right now, if you guys have saw, are pretty shocking. I'm pretty surprised. Like right now, we have a poll running. Will you pick up Hot Toys Rooted Joker? 82% said no. So
really,
82% said no. So are those people who bought in art, or are they?
You did that with Batman. Batman sold out in 10 minutes. So, and I saw like a comment there, I think 16 shooter, because it doesn't mean it's good. That is true, but it's also mean it's sold out.
Right.
You know, they don't care if it's good. What only matters is it's sold out. So if one day you want one, it's sold out. Now you got to pay a premium.
Right.
Now the thing is, I don't think it's going to happen to these guys, because we went from no Joker to now have 4 Jokers between this and in art.
Yep.
Now we went from just DX11 to now we have 4 SKUs of Joker that we can, you know, pick apart from. And they're all going to suffer, trust me. Like, all the values are going to tank, because options are always bad as far as selling is concerned. Yeah, you got options, it's a buyer's market out there.
Yep.
It sucks for if you bought in art, because whether you like it or not, you can't sell it as high anymore. Because if you inflate it too much, I'll be like, well, okay, I'll just buy the Hot Toys Joker.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I agree.
How the game goes.
Well, because Riley's comment's interesting, but I mean, is there anyone out there, guys, in the chat, or anyone do you guys would speculate? Anyone who bought in art, would they also buy the Hot Toys? I don't think so. Maybe that's why. That's got to be the reason for the numbers.
Yeah, but you also have to think too, is that, you know, there's a small majority of like hardcore collectors, like all of us in like the chats and in here, but there's also going to be like your collectors that are just, you know, your average day collector that sees this and say, oh, I got to get this. And you know, just a really quick example, like I think in Star Wars Theory, like he's not like an avid like collector of like Hot Toys, but he did mention something about Anakin, so he's going to get that. So there's going to be a guy who's like a big, huge Heath Ledger Joker fan that sees this and is going to want it, you know. So that didn't
unless
pick
he
up
bought
the
in art first.
Oh well, yeah, that too.
If you knew about it,
if you knew about it, but. I mean, Sideshow's website is a very like common place for a lot of common, you know, like everyday collector. So they're gonna see this and would want to pick it up. So
yeah.
The question, like, if people who bought in art, the question, how many people bought in art? Because they're not accessible, they're not as popular. You to find a site, Giant literally can't say which site to buy it from, and then you get some sites that are kind of shady. There are ones that you can trusted. Even the one that you can trusted, you don't know if you're going to get a part. You're not going to go, you know, you don't know if you're going to get T code. You know, like we all expected in art to, we're not going to talk about in art, like, you know, it's gone by January. Yet here we are, still have stocks. The question is whether this is going to sell or not. I don't think Hot Toys care. Like, they're used to figures sitting. They're not going to lose sleep if people doesn't pick up this Joker. We'll be like, oh man, now we're going to go bankrupt. No one bought their Joker.
Well, and this one optical, I've never been more certain of anything in my life. This one's not going to sit more than 15 minutes. I mean, you know, if Sideshow has 2,000 of them and Advanced Suit Spidey sold in 20 minutes, this is going to sell in 5 minutes or less.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it.
Batman is a horrible looking figure.
Yep, and it's sold.
I'm surprised with that one. How about the people that already bought the Wonder Woman? right? How come now that Wonder Woman is sold out? Right?
Dude, it's
There's a
exclusive. That's why. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, honestly, like how many people bought the Wonder Woman 84, which by the way, I'm not a fan of, but the those previous ones before, you know?
Right.
So
Well, that's why. And guys, thank you so much for your thoughts on this one. I want to move on to our next one because we want to keep this conversation rolling for you guys. So,
mhm,
what I'm going to do actually is bring up our next topic because this is going to lead us into our next one. We got to talk about the other elephant in the room here, and that is
mhm,
Anakin Skywalker exclusive. And this leads us into what we've been talking about, right? Is exclusivity going to be the trend moving forward? Because is this something that's here to stay? Is it going to be for only top tier characters? Is it going to be because which we will talk about too? The symbiote Spider-Man Peter Parker is not exclusive. That one's going to be a wide release, but still, how limited is it going to be? We don't know. We don't know if it's going
mhm,
to be a 1 month and then waitlisted, or 3 months, or just sit in the sideshow for 8 years. I think those days might be gone. I think the days of them overstocking and dead stock, I like, even for example, Moon Knight is waitlisted now. Doesn't mean you can't get him elsewhere. Don't hear what I'm not saying. You can find him on Pop Culture or wherever, right? You could probably find him. But as far as sideshow goes, they ain't fucking playing around. Like this shit, they're not gonna sit on dead stock for a year or 2 years anymore. Those days are gone. Like it's just
mhm.
not gonna happen. So exclusivity. We're gonna have this collecting, community that we're used to with Hot Toys. I don't think we're used to this type of having to fight for figures, this exclusivity where you have to be online, you have to have your
Mhm.
payment. You might not get it. You might do everything right and still not get it, right? Is this here to stay, Optical? Is this something
I
that's good? Is this here to stay?
I hope so.
Me
I
too.
sure do hope so. Because not everything is exclusive. So there's everything for everyone. Maybe in art is not for you. So don't spend $1,000. You can get a Joker
Mhm.
that's rooted. Maybe this is not for you. Maybe exclusive is not for you. Maybe it's too rich for your blood. Maybe you don't want to fall queue in line. Maybe you don't have that patience. Then don't. You don't have to. You know what? If you don't pick this up, for example, because it's for whatever reason, it's too much, you didn't get a queue. There's a sculpted version. Well, not on sale now, but it's on eBay. That's gonna take a hit
Yeah.
because now you can't sell that for $700. Because if this is going to be 500, depending on how well this sells, right? Like on the aftermarket, if this sells $1,000, then that means that would still sell at $700, $600. So this would dictate how much that sculpted hair would go for on eBay. So with these guys on the comment section saying that, hey, it doesn't matter if it's sold out or not. Well, it's not for now, but once you buy it on the aftermarket, that would determine how much the figure that you are. Look at Mark V. Mark V is cheap now because it's available. When Mark V was not available, it was going for $700-$800.
Mhm.
Right. So it does matter whether you like it or not. If it's readily available, it affects the secondary market. That's just
Right.
how
And
it is.
Optical, just and before, I don't want to cut you off. I want you to hop back
Right.
in. But basically, with this Anakin, I wanted to throw something out there. With that, dude, this thing, there's going to be so many people. And again, there's flippers, so be it. But there's going to be a lot of people who buy this because they know. If you're talking about investment, dude, there's absolutely zero, unless this turns out like shit, there's a 0% chance that you would lose money on this because
Yeah,
this
I
thing will
agree.
be worth double what it retails for the second it sells out. Like, I
If
mean, yeah.
How many of this will? 1,000?
I think 3,000 worldwide. So Sideshow might have 1,000. Yeah.
If the non-sculpted 4-year-old Anakin is
Yep.
going for $700 without
Yep.
a number,
Yep.
this is a main character. And whether you like the hair or not, this is better. Whether if you want to be objective here, if the only reason you'll be like you pick the non-rooted over this is because you already paid $800 for that. And you want to
You're just dug
justify
in.
yourself.
I agree.
This is better in a lot of ways, in so many ways
It
than
is,
the
it
sculpted
is.
version. That you'll be a fool if I give this to you right now in front of you for $800. I give you $800. Pick one. If you pick the sculpted hair, you're just being like a fanboy at that point. So this would set the tone for that sculpted hair. I like the fact that they're not going to release a sculpted hair because that would preserve the value for that. So that would be an option for those who didn't get this. So that would retain its value much in a lower scale, and rightfully so, because that was what, $224 when it came out.
Yeah,
It
the first
tripled-
Anakin. Yeah, and then the
it
dark side was like
tripled the
260.
value.
Yeah.
This is like $500 to double the price. So that you wouldn't be able to sell that anymore, or even get that for $700, for example. This would dictate the fate of that other figure. So,
Yeah.
Right. What do you think, PJ?
Yeah, it is here to stay. Unfortunately, maybe there was I know for during COVID there was an influx of new collectors that came in. they got the stimulus money and blew it away on like figures, right? Now the market is kind of like, now it's a buyer's market, right? Like where you have all this dead stock and everything like that. People are trying to sell their figures, i.e. myself. I sold my Tusken Raider for like 170. How
You're
much is that
lucky you got
Tusken Raider?
that, to be honest. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I mean, how much?
Yeah.
How much is that Tusken Raider? Like 250
250
or something like that.
Yeah.
250. So can you imagine? I lost $80.
You got lucky, honestly. Like that, I think that would sell for like 150, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, you kind of need a good. I know I always preach about the. I think you guys are gonna like start throwing like fishes at me or something. You need a ecosystem to kind of like to have a good healthy collecting market. Funko does it. Funko does like these exclusives during like San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con, and those Funko Pops sell for a lot. So this is their this is unfortunately this is Hot Toys version of those exclusive like Funko Pops. And yeah, we need it. It's gonna be good for the market. It's gonna be good for collectors now. You could use this, like say you buy this Anakin, you're like, man, I really like this Anakin. I don't like the rooted hair. Now you could sell it and still get your money back. The minimum you're gonna make money regardless, but still. But now the money that you made from that figure, you could like invest in other figures. It's just a revolving door, and that's what Hot Toys used to be. And it is slowly heading that direction. For example, Cad Bane. So now it's waitlisted on Sideshow. So I just did my research and said, all right, let me check out other resellers. Other resellers are selling that $300 figure for $413.
So they noticed and raised their prices. Yeah.
So it's now it's kind of beneficial to pre-order your figures, right? Back then it wasn't, because you knew he was going to go on sale on Sideshow's buy one get one free sales, but that's not the case now. So
well,
yeah,
Optical,
no, it's here to
how
stay.
many? Because PJ, I got to give Optical credit. How many times has Optical said "make me miss"? Like, and Optical, that's what they're doing, right?
And Will, I love this new model of Hot Toys because we know which ones are going to be Grail. It's being announced. Unlike before, you're going to have to guess. Oh, maybe Hela's going to be Grail.
Right.
Maybe Yondu. Oh, maybe Zod. Well, Zod didn't turn out to be a Grail. In here, because they only made X number of figures. You kind of have that, and it looks different than your regular figure. And it's not for everyone, right? Like just like if you want shoes, there's a lot of sneakers out there. If you want the Jordan OGs that only comes out every Christmas, man, you got to be at finish line. You got to hit that refresh button. But if you just want regular shoes, there's regular shoes for everyone.
Right. And Optical, they will. So whether it's not this one or another one, they will make another sculpted Anakin. Whether it be Dark Side, they're going to do what they did with Joker at some point with this Anakin. So for all the people who miss on this rooted one, or you just want the sculpted one, it is going to happen. It is going to happen. Maybe not now, maybe 6 months, maybe in 2 years of the anniversary. But you are going to get a sculpted Anakin. The Optical, they are going to give you the best of both worlds. But my point about this exclusivity thing about, for one, like PJ said, it's really healthy for the ecosystem. I don't want it to be every figure, but like you said, Optical, it's giving the best of both worlds. It's giving PJ, it's giving the exclusivity ones for that crowd, and it's also creating a healthy ecosystem where people need to pre-order, where there is demand, where people are look, dude. We have 233 people in the chat right now. How many times has that happened on any of these live streams that I've had on my channel, right? That shows how engaged people are in collecting right now, because you have created something exclusive that has people's attention. Like you said, PJ, even he didn't know about the exclusivity thing really as much. Star Wars Theory made a video about this Anakin Skywalker. I had pulled it up before you even said anything. I had pulled it up because I had seen that before the show started, and he made a video about it, right? So, and that's a huge million of subscribers. That's the biggest Star Wars voice in the community. Man.
Sideshow's website is going to freaking
and he was
crash.
Like, it was funny listening to him because he was like, yeah, like I'm going to try to pre-order this. I was like, he has money, I'm sure, so he can just buy one on the aftermarket, but it's going to be, I'm just telling you guys, buckle up, because it's not going to be an easy purchase. It's not, but that's exciting, right? I mean,
it is exciting.
It's frustrating. I get it. I tried to buy a PS5 for like 6 months and couldn't get one. I get it. But if you really want, I haven't even told people what I paid for this Ellie print, but if you really want something, and it's a grail to you. This is, I mean, honestly, I don't want this to be for everything. And if you do miss it and you don't love Anakin that much, don't go pay a crazy price just to get him, because they will make, or also like Optical said, you could buy the dark side Anakin or the light side Anakin, the sculpted that's already been released. That it does maintain the value of the original in that way, which I do think is kind of cool. But yeah.
But I mean, that's with any collecting market, whether you collect cars, whether you collect coins, there's going to be a rare coin, car, figure that you're going to want to get. But that's makes it, like you said, exciting to be imagine like everything's accessible, i.e. some of the Hot Toys figures in stock. It's a boring like collecting journey, right? Now you're like, oh man, I really want that that Tusken Raider. PJ selling them. Oh, easy. That's cool and all. But once in a while, you get things like this where you're like, oh my God, I got to be on Sideshow's website. I got to get this. Bottleneck Gallery. You're talking about prints. Oh my gosh. I have to be on the website with my payment ready by 12 o'clock. If I'm not ready by 12:01, I missed out.
Yep.
But again, it's healthy and makes, it's exciting. I love collecting again. I love collecting prints. So I love what Hot Toys is doing. And honestly, they learned their lesson with overproducing a lot of figures. And this is the new norm now.
Well, it's
whether
funny,
you like it or not.
Optical, I was going to bring up to you too. You know what I was kind of thinking about today? It's almost like, I think what's going to be this new ushering in of this new era, I think it's going to be like the steroid era of baseball versus like the post-steroid era. You know what I mean? Where like everything was massively overproduced, Hot Toys on steroids, basically. And then eventually now everyone's off steroids. They're not producing near as much, right?
Right.
That was the analogy I kind of loved. And I was like, I think it makes sense, but.
Yeah, no, it does. And honestly though, but here's the thing too. And I think we talked about it in the chat, is that I think this is the same portrait.
I don't think so. You think so?
I think so. It looks.
What do you think?
Dude, I think it's painted really well. I know they say a new portrait.
That looks different.
They said it's new. I feel like the eyes are a little shrunken a little bit more. Like it's more inside. That makes him this dude. If they made it, and we're not finished yet. This is in a year, right? If people say, man, this is too expensive, blah, 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 what if they make the eye swappable, that you can put like the red eyes on it, or you flip it over, like on the back, or on the back of the thing, or maybe on top, you pull it down and then you get that, pull it down hard enough. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't care, because the first Anakin anyway was a pretty good sculpt to me. Like, let's pretend this is the same sculpt. To me, that goes out the window. The old Anakin itself is a grail, and then you throw the new paint and the hair on it and the USB and make it 500. Jesus, dude, it's Anakin. This is where Inart got in trouble. Once Hot Toys did the Star Wars and made it look like Inart, because he was going to compete with Harry Potter. Like, this is the equivalent of Aragorn, right? Like Aragorn, when we first saw Aragorn in art, that's probably the most beautiful figure I've ever seen in my life.
It is.
And then you saw this Anakin, and you'd be like, okay, let's be honest. Like, how many Star Wars fan compared to Lord of the Rings fan? Like, I mean, that's not even a fair competition.
We also don't want to forget about this, because it is. We don't want to have short-term memory, because I think all of us have, because we've seen these promo photos and they're so fucking good. But then when we all saw this sideshow originally, we were like, that's so fucking bad, right? That's so, I think that what the promo photos show you is how good the potential of that figure is if you style it and put the effort in. And then if you don't put the effort in, this is the downside of the figure. This is what it's going to look like. So I will say, for the 1,000 people who do get this, and you put it on your shelf, you're going to have to spend some time with it. Like, just know, I don't think it's going to be styled as well as, besides in our Joker, right? I think that hair I hardly had to mess with at all, if at all, right? This one, I'm a little concerned that I think you might. I think it looks amazing if you put the time in, but if you don't put the time in, I think you need to be aware of that going in. You know what I mean? It's gonna look shit.
I think this is like a display from Sideshow, though, right? It's like,
it is.
Those guys are not putting any effort whatsoever.
They have so much going on. Like, they're trying to do a million different things.
I mean, that would be criminal if Hot Toys ship us like this. What they look like. This is like with the Anna Karen that we were joking about, But I doubt it. I highly doubt we're gonna get something like this.
When I worked for Queen Studios booth last year, and I had to style like some of the life size like like bust, dude. Can I tell you, it is a pain in the ass. So I wouldn't blame Sideshow when they tried to futz around with this thing and they said, F this is like too much. So,
Right.
you know, like we don't have time. We have like 20 other statues that we or figures that we have to like pose. So but honestly though, like I know some people say it's a different portrait, but I think I showed you guys like the previous one. I think the paint job is definitely different, and the rolling eyes does make a difference when you have like purse system, right? And then the hair, I just think that I don't know, maybe it's the same expression that throws it off, but I don't know.
I mean, the lack of real leather is an interesting choice, isn't it, PJ?
Yeah, I agree.
Like they went pleather again. That was interesting. I found that interesting.
Yeah, I found that interesting too because I have the dark side Anakin and the light side. So like the pleather is okay, but it feels cheap. That's the only problem.
Yeah, because you would think with their premium brand optical, they would go leather for this. I mean, to be more expensive, but
yeah. I think they made what do you call that? I think they made InArt a focus group. Honestly, they'd be like, okay, let's try out what you guys would do. We'll pick apart what is not necessary to try to bring the cost down, and then we'll release it. It was like, oh, magnets not working. Okay, pass. Real leather. Oh, you can just take the head sculpt and put it on a third-party body. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. You know, I think they kind of made them kind of like what they did with who's that Yoast. It's like, oh yeah, vehicles are okay again. All right, we'll release vehicles.
They were like, they let everyone else do the
everyone do the focus group, and they'll be like, all right, well, we're gonna go ahead and you know, I got to give them credit because you know they sit around watch while everyone does their work, and they'll be like, they're like a predator. Was like, all right, safe. Okay, so there's a market for $500 figures. All right, all right.
Well, you can only imagine, bro, that Aragorn just like swept the whole collecting community by storm. If InArt had the Star Wars license and they made an Anakin or something, yeah, I mean, it would be the same shit times 5. I mean, it's
Will, here's the difference. You showed that and the mess of a hair of Anakin earlier, right?
Right.
Imagine if we received that from Hot Toys. Guess what we would do? Return them to Sideshow.
Dude, I don't know, Optical. Ain't nobody returning this if you got one. Like, because you're gonna sell it probably.
But that, you know, like with how much of let's say a hoopla this creates, you're probably right. But you have the option to return it to Sideshow. If you receive an InArt Joker like this, I don't know what you're gonna do.
It's a lot harder. Yeah.
That's you know,
because Kid will take care of you, but you're probably gonna have to ship it back to China.
6 months. Yeah.
Right.
You know, so back and forth.
Yeah, I'm like, I know what people are saying, like, you know, like people are saying in the chat, like Hot Toys said it's a different sculpt. Well, I mean, if you have rolling eyes or the purse, like it is a different sculpt, you could argue. But I mean, honestly, like if someone can like, I don't know, put 2 and 2 together, like you know how they do like side by side. I think it's the same expression. I think that's what makes me think it's the same portrait. If they did something a little bit different with the expression, then I could say, okay, it's a different portrait, you know?
Well, I mean, one thing I do want to say, guys, before we move on, like Daniel's comment, I think is perfectly representative of how good this actually is for the community, right? Because it creates conversation, it creates debate, it creates engagement. People are, you know, FOMOing, people are buying things, people are spending more. So for business-wise, yeah, you don't want to overextend your budget as a collector, but this is good for business for them. Like now there's so much positive buzz about this. There's so many conversations. This is good for InArt, honestly, because every single conversation about Joker, we've been like, well, is it better than InArt? Like InArt has not even really done shit in the last 6 months. And they're still in these conversations, which this is good for them because it creates a healthy conversation and dialogue. Like, again, there's 232 people in the chat. People are engaged. Like, and this is all it took. And I think Sideshow knew this, and so did Hot Toys, and they were like, yeah, there needs to be a drastic change, and this is pretty drastic. And I think not every figure is going to be exclusive like this, but for example, Optical and PJ, maybe that Predator, maybe they make that. Like they say, all right, 4,000. Like they might just start. I think they might start doing that with super high tier characters, or maybe the lower characters they don't title exclusive, like a Riva, but they'll just waitlist it really fast. Like they'll just say, okay, we'll give you 2 to 3 weeks. And then that's like, they won't announce that. It'll just go low stock and then waitlist one day. Like, I think this is the way it's going to be. Because we all took part in creating this market. Like I pushed the idea of not pre-ordering. We all did because it was smart. You were de-incentivized to pre-order. So now we've created a market where there's oversaturation. There's no one pre-ordering. It's the same stuff. No one's really that excited. Like, but now everyone's excited. So now everyone's going to wait for Sideshow to update. They're going to be waiting patiently for them to update when Anakin's going to go up. Same with Joker. Like how many more follows does that get Sideshow? Right? That's now people are more engaged with their socials. Like it's a win all around. Trust me.
Yeah. But I have to say though, like I know I started a conversation with the same skull. You know, listen, I agree, and I said something on our chat, Will, of someone that's something that's rooted also using the old portrait. Again, listen, you guys, if you guys say it's the same sculpt, I mean it's a different sculpt, I'll go with that. I would like to. Well, obviously the hair looks like kind of weird.
I think it's different, PJ.
Is this custom?
Yeah, this is custom.
Yeah,
this is the Hot Toys head sculpt with custom hair. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe the paint, but either way, this still looks good. In my opinion,
looks good.
It's a good portrait. I'm not saying it's a bad portrait.
Yeah, it
like,
still looks.
It is a really good portrait. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if they used the same one, put purse on it, because obviously, even if it's the same one, they obviously did a really well job.
That was the sculpted. It's the same expression though, PJ. You are right. Same expression.
Yeah, same expression. That's why I'm like I said, maybe I'm being thrown off by the same expression. You know, it might be, you know, the same one. So, or it might be a different one, which we have to wait and see till I, you know, I get the figure. I just probably have to pay aftermarket prices because I don't know sure if I'm going to get one.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, bro, but I mean, this is exciting. Yeah. I mean, I've kind of trying to decide if I do want to pick up this Anakin, but I don't know, man. I might try just because it does look really, and look, I think I could take the time to style it, but would I even get it is the question. I mean, I think a lot of us are going to be disappointed when it goes up. They're just going to sell out really fast. Like, I think you're onto something with PJ, with Mondo. Like, honestly, Optical and PJ, I think that Anakin, I said 5 minutes. I think 1 to 2 minutes. I think short of the website crashing and people, it's just too slow to comprehend all the orders. I think that thing's going to sell out remarkably fast. Like, it's going to, same with Joker. It's gonna break
mainstream with that Star Wars theory guy. He made it mainstream. So
now you got people paying attention. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's going to be flippers. I mean, to be honest though, it is like
it's part of the game.
It's part of the game. It's a healthy part of the hobby. I'm saying I don't do it. Not saying I would condone it, but it does create demand, and there's people that are always going to capitalize on that. So
yeah. Well, now with Star Wars Theory, like kind of like mentioning in his channel, now you mainstreamed Hot Toys, and that's what you know you kind of want, right? So now all these new people, they're like, oh my gosh, Star Wars Theory said this is a really cool Anakin. Oh my gosh, where do I get that? I'm an Anakin fan. So yeah, this is healthy. You know, it's good for the collectors. It's good for new collectors. It's good overall.
It's part of the game, man. Like we would be disappointed, but that's how life is. You know, it makes it more special if you even get one. You can be like, oh man, I beat those 2,000 guys that are waiting in queue. You know, so
right,
yeah.
It happens.
We say beat off.
There's 2,000 guys.
I wasn't able to press the mouse right away. My hand was occupied.
No, but I know. Trust me, it's going to be a conversation. And like I said, I just think you need to prepare yourself. Like if you get the Anakin, you get the Joker, happy for you. But I would prepare yourself to say, okay, the odds are I might not get it. But you got to prepare. Get your internet ready. Log in beforehand. Get your payment methods ready. Just be ready.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, I'm definitely getting it because
Are you?
Well, if I can, I'm gonna try. We'll see what happens.
I might try too. We'll see.
Did they say when?
No, not yet. But I'm sure once it is, everyone will announce it, and then everyone will be like, "I'm online." Like Sideshow's
2 a.m. They'll
2 it'll be like 2:30 a.m. Exactly.
By the way, Optical, dude, I woke up this morning. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, hell yeah, dude, like my boss was just like, "What? Why are you not working?" It's just I'm making videos.
I'm putting out preview
you pumped
videos.
them out, dude. We're going back to the good old days where you're always the first one.
Dude, like my AdSense called me and was like, "We're coming back, dude.
We're coming back. We need you to get to the preview videos."
Oh my goodness,
dude, absolutely. Well, guys, let's talk about a couple other announcements that that happened this morning. Hot Toys symbiote Peter Parker worth picking up is the question. This is not in a exclusive limited edition figure as far as has been announced. This is one I think is actually pretty cool though. So give me one sec, because for whatever reason it's not pulled up, but I will get it. But essentially, it's a Peter Parker from Spider-Man 2, the new video game from Insomniac, and it's the Peter Parker that I think even I speculated for a while. That was something that I was like, yeah, I think this is probably what they're doing. They made the Advanced Suit 2.0 limited because that one has already been made before. They knew a lot of people already had that one already. It is a different material. The outfit is definitely substantially different. However, it is the same suit all in all. It's just different material and different accessories and so forth. But the symbiote Peter Parker is the wide release one because that's the one that they know it's Spider-Man. Everyone's going to want this one. It's cool. It's unique. It's going to be something for Spider-Man diehard collectors that they're going to want to pick up. Optical. Is this worth picking up for collectors? It doesn't scratch that exclusivity itch that we're kind of getting into lately, but we don't know. Maybe it'll be waitlisted fast. Who knows? I mean, I do think it's pretty cool. It's not going to be for me, but what do you think, Optical?
I think people should pick this up. This is different than any other Spider-Mans that we've seen so far. Yeah. It looks cool. If you like the game, which I do love the game, it brings something different to the table. And this exclusive head sculpt, I talked about this on my preview. This is the special edition that you need to pre-order for, right? Like if you really want this. You know why? Because let's say you're waiting for a sale. Let's say you didn't get the exclusive because you're not going to get a sale on the exclusive for the most part, right? Like it goes 25% off. Let's say this is $300. You save $65. Wouldn't you buy this head sculpt for $65? You would, right? Like, I mean, if you're a fan, if you're a Spider-Man fan, a third-party head sculpt is worth around $40. Third party, and it's kind of, not that good. That head sculpt is worth $60 in my opinion. Like easy, right? Like, and it's Hot Toys, it's transforming, it's unique. This is the type of special edition that makes you think, shoot, maybe I should just pre-order because I could wait. Maybe it sits around. Maybe I'll say 20%. What does 20% translate to? $60 out of 300, right? 60, 20%. Is this head sculpt worth 60? Hell yeah, it is. So now you're thinking, it was like, should I save 60 or I get it faster, I get it right away, and get a head sculpt. This is not a hologram, which is an easy decision. That hologram is not worth 60. Hell yeah, I'll save the 60. I don't need it right away.
Optical, they were clearly listening when all of us were saying, you have to give us a good accessory. You have to give us something good. And they did. That's what they did.
And they started it. Now, there's no guarantee that this is going to sell out. It could very well be, because they already started that. Cyborg. That exclusive head sculpt by Cyborg, it does light up. It makes you pre-order. Now, it's not on sale yet, but it's coupon eligible with 10%. So would you be like, I shouldn't have waited? Sure. But now the question begs, would you risk it for that head sculpt? Now, this is where the decision becomes a little bit more difficult. Because if you don't, would you buy that? And then you realize, like, shoot, I just messed up. This is all black. That's with a red. It really pops out. I like that head sculpt. I'm going to go to eBay and buy it for $120 or Toys, what is that? Toy Anxiety for $80. And now you didn't get the figure in first hand because you waited. You waited 3 months or 6 months. So it's a double jeopardy. But to answer the question, yes, I think it's worth picking up.
I think it is too, Optical. And again, this special edition exclusive, even though it's not exclusive, like limited numbered or whatever, it's still exclusivity. And you can clearly tell that Sideshow and Hot Toys PJ have gone this route. They've done a complete 180. They said, all right, everything we've been doing in the last 2 years, let's do the opposite. And that's what they've done. And again, they got people engaged. They got people's attention. For all those people that were sitting idly by, kind of bored on the sidelines, now you got them, right? You got a cool ass symbiote Spider-Man. You got a good accessory that's worth pre-ordering for. What they should, PJ, like with Cad Bane, the example you gave, they got to start making people feel the pain of a miss. They're going to be like, okay, you want to sit there and not fucking pre-order? All right, well, you can just go pay $600 on the aftermarket now.
Yeah.
They got to make you feel that, because otherwise people, until you feel it, humans work in extremities, bro. You need to feel that pain in an extreme way before you fucking realize that you need to change. And then that's the only way they're going to get people to pre-order. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, for me, I missed out on so many figures back then. For example, like the Obi-Wan Kenobi from episode 4 or New Hope. Like, I remember that thing was sitting on Sideshow's website. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be around. Until it was not around, and it's worth like $450, and then I kick myself for it. But all honesty, though, it's good that people start pre-ordering. I know we always want to wait for a deal and stuff like that. But even sometimes with a deal, people don't jump on those deals as like they used to. Like, my gosh, Lando 175, people, it's still available in stock. I think they discounted what's that called? Well, Captain Marvel's not a good example.
That was
but
free.
yeah, literally they gave that for free.
They gave it away for free.
Yeah, it's not sold out yet. Like, I'll pass.
Yeah, true. I'll pass on the free.
I'll pass them free. But even the hologram Iron Man, they were giving that for free for I think, was it the hologram? No, I don't know. I'm not even sure. But anyways, yeah, no, I think if you are a Spider-Man fan, this is a must-have. I mean, obviously, if you read the comics, the symbiote Spidey, it has a huge representation of what's gonna, what's gonna happen next, which is Venom. So yeah, no, if you really want this figure, I say pre-order it, especially pre-order the special edition. And yeah, don't miss out. Like I said, look at Cad Bane. Look at the special edition of Cad Bane. You can't get that anywhere. Now you got to pay primo prices for that figure. So yeah, I say don't, if you're a Spider-Man fan or even curious about this figure, pre-order it,
Dude, come to think, PJ,
it's worth picking up. Even if you don't think it's worth picking up and you're curious about it, guess what? If you do decide to sell it, you're going to get your money back. And that's true.
And that's what's great about this, right?
Yes.
Because even if you change your mind, you can still be okay, right? It's pretty good. Dude, I'm glad I pre-ordered that Cad Bane. I will say you still can pick him up. Maybe check Pop Culture for the people out there. Like, you might be able to find him there. My Sideshow charged me today, PJ, for Cad Bane. So he's ready to go, apparently. So very excited.
I mean, readily available in some of the main websites. You can't get them.
Right.
Obviously, resellers are selling him for $413, which is crazy. But again, if you don't want to be searching or miss out on a figure, pre-order this one, man. Honestly, this is a great looking figure.
Times are changing.
Yeah, I like this one. I really do.
This head sculpt is worth it. Because I mean, it's cool with the all black head sculpt too. That looks cool, but with this transitioning head sculpt, that's when we were all saying, give us something good, Sacha was like, write that down. Like, and that's what they did. Like, they fucking listened and they made something that's worth pre-ordering.
We shouldn't be doing this, Will, because we're doing things for free.
We are. We're not even charging.
Like, dude, if we're not even charging for these ideas.
Dude, but I have to say, the game is not even out yet. Dude, how many figures is Hot Toys going to pump out of this game?
I don't know.
Kraken, Venom.
Venom, yeah.
Now you're gonna get.
I want to see the Venom. I want to see the Venom. Yeah.
Dude, you're gonna get a Venom with the actual symbol now.
Dude, how many people are gonna sell their Venom when that?
Oh, you sell it now, man. Sell it now.
It's value. Lane is trying to get rid of his for like $250.
I saw
the new one.
I saw
it's the new one.
Really?
Because people are anticipating. Yeah, and it's the Venom 2 one, PJ.
It's the Venom 2.
Yeah. Dude, he's getting rid of it.
That's the one with the pipe. It comes with a pipe. Yeah, that's like
of course, Lane has the one with the pipe on it. So
of course,
I
mean, of course he does. So
yeah,
but guys,
not Kraken, Craven. I'm sorry, Mark. Attack. I'm sorry.
I didn't even realize you said Kraken.
Kraken, Craven. Sorry,
I'll buy that 1/6 Kraken.
I'll buy the Kraken. Yeah, dude. Imagine if the Hot Toys made Davy Jones. That would be pretty cool.
They did. Didn't they?
Well, they did at one point, but imagine if they remade him like updated, dude.
Oh yeah,
that'd be amazing. That'd be really cool. I think Josh from Comic Concepts mentioned it. So when he was on the stream the other day. So let's talk about one more piece of news here. So Hot Toys Mark 7 suit up. This one's I don't know. It's funny. It's an Iron Man suit up and it's an Iron Man, and it just I don't sense a lot of excitement surrounding the community about this one. I sense the exclusive excitements. But even with this Iron Man, it has an exclusive part from what I saw, like the hologram. So Optical mentioned a hologram. This is actually a cool hologram. This is the one hologram that's fucking cool, actually.
But it looks like it lights up, but it doesn't, though.
Yeah, probably exactly, bro. Well, Optical, I mean, do we need this? Because I don't know. The Mark V suit up, man, that's a pretty cool figure, but I've heard it's hell to put together, man.
That's what I heard. I mean, no. The short answer is no, but it's here. I like the head sculpt, even though there's a lot of forehead going on out there. I mean, it looks like Elon Musk's hair from the forehead up. Do we need this? No. This is one of those things where I don't think you need to go out and pre-order this. We're gonna miss. Look at it historically. The two suit ups are sitting there, collecting dust and being discounted. Now the Tony Stark I do like because I don't have a Tony Stark yet. Like my only Tony Stark is the mechanic. The body proportion looks good. You can barely see the joints in the wrist. This looks like a good Tony Stark to have. But if you ask me to pay $400 for a Tony Stark, I wouldn't do it. So this is one of those things where if it hits a certain point, maybe. But yeah, historically speaking, I think you can wait for this.
And Optical, you're going to have to pose them in a flight pose, basically. I mean,
yeah,
which is how it is in the film. Yeah, it's just how it is in the film. So you know, it's. I don't love the head sculpt Optical. I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah,
forehead, man. That eyebrows just looks
it's
a
not
little
awful, but PJ, what do you think, man? I don't love this head sculpt. I just feel like this figure's a miss. But
I think this. I mean, again, like there's going to be Hot Toys Iron Man collectors out there, but I mean, I think it's for me personally. I think the portrait is a miss. The forehead's a little bit too big, and again, another suit up. I mean, how many times did he suit up in the whole the whole entire MCU Endgame saga? Like, did he suit up a lot? Like, now we're gonna make a figure for every suit up he did.
Just the iconic ones, yeah. You're gonna see a Mark 50 suit up at some point, yeah.
Yeah, well, or maybe a bow down where we show his face. Remember when he was fighting Thanos?
Yep, that would be true.
So we might end up getting something like that. But no, I think. Listen, I say it's a miss for me, but I'm sure there is like an Iron Man fan that is like out there that wants this, right? Like collects every single Iron Man figure out there. You know, I think that person will be very happy, but I think this should be limited, if anything. Like I agree with someone that said in the chat, this should be super limited. I don't think they should make a lot of these just because there's not a lot of collectors that's going to pick this up.
Right, because the original Mark 7 did not have a head sculpt, right? Or was it a half sculpt? I can't remember. Wasn't it a half sculpt? Kind of like the Rhodey one.
Inside. Yeah, I think it's inside.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, because I guess he didn't really show his head in the Mark 7 besides the suit up. That was pretty much the only time, other than when I guess they ripped the mask off him at the end with Hawk. But yeah, I mean, yeah, for the Iron Man collectors out there, I'm happy for those that are going to be picking this up. I just don't maybe sense a lot of excitement about it. But maybe it's more of an Asian market thing than it is States. I don't know, but. Optical, I don't know. You could raise a valid point about the sitting with the Mark V suit up, but I do think times are changing. I'm not sure they're going to stock as many as they did prior. Like I'm not, I think I don't know if this is going to sit because I don't know if they might just not make that many. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Iron Man, Clutch says Iron Man sells exclusive wouldn't make sense.
That's but true. So does Anakin. So Anakin Skywalker is maybe besides, well, he is Darth Vader, but maybe the best-selling Star Wars hot toy besides Darth Vader, I would think nowadays at least. I mean, can you name a hotter Star Wars character than?
Well, keep in mind that Anakin sat around for a while. Why? Because the Asian market at that time wasn't particularly fond of Star Wars. Right. I think Mando changed that, but keep in mind Anakin is not from Mando. Right. So I think they're just gauging that still. I mean, no doubt 4,000 units would sell, so they don't necessarily quote unquote need the Asian market for that. But with that being said, this like he said, Iron Man, maybe they'll make that.
I mean, I think Anakin probably sells better than Luke now. Like I think there's been a resurgent love for Hayden Christensen. Like,
there is. I think the sequels kind of help. Well,
probably.
Yeah,
no, I mean, you're not wrong.
I think everyone liked half of the fandom appreciated the prequels because of the sequels, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I know Iron Man sells, yes, but I mean the Mark 50 sat around for a long time, right?
Yeah, but I think those were different production times.
Neon Tech Iron Man is still there. There's still.
Because I mean, I think they're going to start making less of these where you're going to see these start weight. I think you're going to. I might actually predict that you're going to start seeing almost all Hot Toys weightless before they actually release now. I think by the time it's close to release, maybe they'll give you a little bit longer for some of these bigger ones to pre-order. I think we saw Cad Bane PJ waitlisted pretty much on release. And he was a very popular figure from what I've seen. I think that here, Optical, you talked about missing. I think that might happen with that DX Battle Damage Vader. I think that might be one where that's where they're going to get your fucking attention. Because if you don't pre-order that one and then it sells out and waitlist and then it's gone by the time it releases, that's going to be one people are real hurt about missing. Like,
or you can jump to the 40th anniversary Vader.
They could,
which is better.
but it doesn't have a split mask. It doesn't have a split mask.
True.
So not bad image. But that could be one. Cad Bane, yeah, people will feel the hurt a little bit if they miss on that one. But Darth Vader, that's one you'll really feel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll that Darth. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, guess we'll see. So we have I guess we have time for like one or two more topics just to hit on real quick. Okay. Which one do I want to do here? The exclusivity thing we talked about pretty extensively. So let's talk about this. We talked about Hot Toys and InArt a little bit, in terms of what they do for each other and what they've done for the market and so forth. But I want to ask the question, how will Hot Toys and InArt continue to impact 1/6 collecting in terms of their perceived rivalry? The way we perceive, maybe they don't give a fuck about each other, but I don't think that's the case. I think that they know about each other. I think they're watching what each other is doing. Because Optical, you've been around collecting, and I know PJ has for a really long time, longer than I have. You've been able to see, there's never really been, I feel like, a true licensed competitor that could go toe-to-toe with Hot Toys. And InArt, they released one figure in a year and a half. So maybe it's not toe-to-toe. But in terms of quality that people can readily access, it's something to factor in. So Optical, what do you think? I mean, how is this competition going to affect 1/6 collecting moving forward?
I've been on the record. I said this. InArt their business model was terrible. They went toe to toe with Hot Toys, which you can't do, because this is what happens when you go toe to toe with Hot Toys. They should have forced Hot Toys' hand to lower the bar, like the price wise, because maybe Hot Toys can't do it, or will refuse to do it. They should have lowered the price and made the quality as it is. That's the only, I would say, chance that you could stand toe to toe with a guy, because their IPs are not that great. This is what happens when you go toe-to-toe with a guy that would, send out Anakin Skywalker to fight Aragorn. I mean, like, what if they decide to do a Luke Skywalker that's rooted hair to go toe-to-toe with Harry Potter? It's not a real matchup wise. I guess it's more of it would impact how you collect, as far as committing to a certain character that you would be like, now you're going to have to ask yourself, is Hot Toys going to make an artisan figure of this guy? Should I buy this DX, or should I wait the eventual artisan figure? Because you won't get that from InArt. With InArt, you get Warner Brothers, right? Maybe they'll make the Matrix in 5 years. It's all a maybe, right? It's like, maybe they'll do the Justice League that's about to be phased out by James Gunn. Like, that's what you're asking. But with Hot Toys, now that they're dipped their toes in here, before you buy a certain character, you'd be like, would they do an artisan of this? Because I really hate to double dip. So I guess, or should I reserve my money? Because artisan is double the price of a regular figure. Should I just not jump into this? Should I save up on this guy? Because what you said earlier, which is readily available, well, that's the problem. InArt is not readily available. So even if I wanted to buy their Aragorn tomorrow, I don't know where to buy it. Like, even if I do know where to buy it, which I do, I don't know if I want to buy it there, because it's still, there's a lot of floating, instances that might happen. Oh, that guy marked Terminator. Maybe they'll make Terminator. I don't know. They haven't announced yet. If they announce it, I don't know when we're going to see Terminator, right? Like, it's number 14 on the queue. So
Optical, think about Hot Toys exclusive Terminator with rooted hair. Dude. That's going to sell out so fast too.
Jeez. And because they haven't made one in like forever. Like the DX13 came out, 2014 maybe?
Yep.
So it begs the question now, which is not good for Hot Toys either, is, like, you don't want collectors to hold out. Like, you don't want your potential buyers holding out because you might or might not release this figure. Because as a company, I want you to spend money, like ridiculous amount of money on things that you don't need. But if now you started like questioning, it's like, maybe they'll announce Terminator tomorrow. I better save up for that $750, because this is not Tusken Raider or a Shore Trooper, which you can be like, all right, man, I'll just go ahead and grab this. See what happens. It's out the door. This is $700. So that might be how it impacts your collecting. Now, as far as DC, you can kind of mix InArt in that. If Hot Toys releases a DC, you're gonna ask yourself, all right, should I just save up for the eventual InArt line if it ever comes out? When it will come out, I don't know. How long can I hold up for this? So those are the questions that you would ask yourself. But like I said, options are always good. It makes things a little bit complicated, but at the end of the day, if you have options, you don't have to do a certain thing, but if you want to, it's available. So that's, I think for me, that's how I would approach it, because the more options you have, the less valuable your item becomes. So now you got to make, I guess, a decision where, like you trade in and out figures. You don't want to lose $300 every time you trade in and out. So the more expensive the figure is, the bigger loss you're going to get. So now now you got to be more mindful on how you buy certain things.
Unless it's a super exclusive figure. And then in that case,
yes.
So for example, like I bet you the Wenwu suit that I have, I could probably sell that for what I bought it for. Because I think 300 worldwide,
that's the least the least that you'll make, if not make more, right?
Right, exactly. So PJ, what do you think? I mean, how is this sort of well, I think the community views it as a rivalry, but I think these companies watch each other more than they let on. But what do you think this is going to do for 1/6?
I think it's a good, healthy competition, if it is really a competition, right? You don't want just one company to just really dominate the market. For example, Madden. I use Madden, dude. Like NFL 2K was a good like football game until Madden got the exclusive rights to the NFL, right? So now, like Madden is the only. If you want a football game, guess what? There's only Madden. Some years the game sucks, and you kind of have to stick with it because there's no other choice. So that would be the case for Hot Toys if they're the only ones making 6-scale figures the big name IPs like Star Wars, Star Wars, DC, Marvel. Then you're just kind of like have no other choice but to get it from Hot Toys, right? By hook or by crook, whether you like the head sculpt or not, you kind of have to stick with it because that's your only choice. But now that you have InArt that is kind of like stepping in and not directly competing with Hot Toys, but kind of changing the game a little bit. I mean, you have to, look at what they did with this, with these rooted hair figures. Again, InArt came in, they said, we're going to do rooted hair, wool hair, whatever it is. And we're going to change the game, even though Asmus also did it, but no one really paid attention to Asmus because I don't know why.
You know why, PJ?
Why?
Because their IP is not as good as Hot Toys.
Exactly.
Guess whose IP is not as good as Hot Toys? InArt.
InArt.
Yeah. It's true though. It's true because Lord of the Rings is a good ticket, but it's not Star Wars or Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I think, but it's good though. But now you have a choice. Now you like I said, if I wanted to pick up this Hot Toys rooted hair Joker, right? And it's limited for a certain amount. I tried to get it on the website. I missed out. But guess what? Now I have, if to me, I might have to call it settling, right? Now I have to sell it for InArt because now I missed out on this one. And so I think it's good and bad, right? So the good part is that there's competition and, the competition is going to, breed more like, maybe like a good price competitiveness, or even like trying to one up each other. Now these companies are going to go like, okay, maybe I'll do magnetic hands, or I'll do magnetic feet, or something along those lines, or maybe I'll have the figures talk. I don't know. But now they're like trying to like go at each other and trying to make sure which will be like the better company in terms of, things that they create. So the bad thing is that prices. Look what InArt did. InArt came in hard with a $515 or $1,000 price tag. Hot Toys said, we'll match that, and people will still buy from us. So that's the downside to it.
Well, I think the quality is going to go up and the prices are going to go up. So it doesn't come without cost. The quality is going to go up and you're going to pay more. So it just rooted hair is just harder. So it requires like a very delicate hand implantation process. It's a process, it seems like. So
yeah.
So any of the rooted hair figures, you're gonna see some rising prices. But guys, go ahead, Optical.
I was gonna say, but what's next though after rooted hair?
Dude, there's always going to be something. I mean, it's going to get better.
Jaw. Like you can position the
rotatable jaw. It'll be maybe it'll be like all silicone, like J&D or something. I don't know, but supposedly that scale is not stable. I don't know.
I've seen one with a custom the rock or something. I don't know. You probably have seen it where there's a skeleton, then you put the silicone face with the rock, and
that sounds messy.
Sounds kind of freaky, but
that sounds. I don't know. We're gonna have to draw the line somewhere. But I mean, but I do hope that InArt, that's my one criticism of them. I love their quality, and I've actually loved the characters they've announced so far, but I want to see them be more prolific. Like I want to see them announce more things and maintain quality. So that's difficult, but also release more things. I mean, and like I said, I know it's been pretty close to a year and a half, and we got one figure. I mean, and I get it's a startup, and they released that Joker still pretty quickly within a year, and that's impressive. But it's just been a lot of silence, and that's I don't know. I just feel like I get Hot Toys, an established company with a very established production, but when Hot Toys is releasing 50 figures in the same time you're releasing one, I mean it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to keep that up. So
there's people that's watching can't wait to pre-order a certain thing. At some point they're going to run out of money when your thing comes out, and
especially now.
I think I can objectively say that InArt has, quality-wise, like so far, what I've seen, at least with the Joker, is better than the Hot Toys Joker. I think I can objectively say that.
I think so too.
The problem with InArt is that they're not readily available. If they were being sold in a U.S. manufacturer here and there, and then we got a straight answer that, hey, this is how we support this, there's a lot of still concerns about how to get their items. And not only that, like availability, because the best ability is your availability, and they're not available. Therefore, people are going to gravitate to the one that they could acquire easily. So,
and it's interesting, Optical, because getting Sideshow for InArt would be huge as a distributor, but also easy maybe a difficult word, because I'm not sure people are going to be able to get that Hot Toys Joker easily.
That's what I was saying. Like,
right.
Like I know, but I agree with you, Optical, but the only problem is that they made the Joker exclusive, which is going to be
well, even we'll talk about the sculpted hair.
Yeah, right? The sculpted hair. That's readily available.
The sculpted hair that's widely available. Imagine if the InArt, so the sculpted hair Joker, for example, is what, 350-ish? That's
probably about that. Yeah.
If they made a sculpted hair 2-pack of InArt available, let's say maybe not Sideshow, let's say I don't know, Big Bad Toy Store, for example, readily available for 500. Guess what I'll get? I'll get the 2-pack, because that's a better value. I'll get 2 Jokers with a diorama for $500 compared to $350 by Sideshow. But it's not. So, I mean, that I think that's what's kind of holding them back, and that's not their fault. That's just how the system works. And unfortunately, I think that would kind of stunt their growth as far as expanding the IPs, because let's face it, you might like the figures that they're doing, you might like the IPs, but if they don't sell figures, they're in the business of selling figures. And if you can't sell enough, if you can't move enough units, you're going to have a hard time funding the next one. So I think that's kind of like what's holding them back. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who had those reservations before pulling the trigger. So like I said, objectively, I'd say they're better.
Yeah.
It's just they're not available. So
right.
The thing too is that now I'm curious to see the packaging for some of these figures, right? Like, InArt did a great job with the packaging for this Joker. I'm wondering what Hot Toys is going to do, right? Like if they saw like the rooted hair thing and they're like, okay, we're going to do it too. So what's with the packaging? Like, are they going to do the same thing with when they have like the portrait in a separate stand or something? Or, it's going to be curious. Is Hot Toys going to go with magnetic hands at some point? What's next? Movable fingers? I don't know.
Well, because the InArt has seamless forearms. This one, the Hot Toys does not.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it's good. These are good things, like who knows? If we didn't have InArt, when are we going to get rooted hair from Hot Toys? What, 10 years from now, 5 years from now?
Good rooted hair,
now it just sped up the process. So
the good news is, if you're a Hot Toys collector, before this Joker comes out, we have a good year and a half, so they can experiment on Wonder Woman, maybe Anakin. So by the time Joker releases, that Joker might have some improvements on it. So yeah, you never know. So
yeah. You
I
can't go wrong with either one of them. They look good.
No.
They both look good.
Yeah, they both look good. And if you want the sculpted hair Joker, that's going to be available. So it's still going to be a great figure.
Yeah.
And you can still get the InArt. I mean, you can get the Joker InArt rooted. I think Kit still has them. You can get the sculpted one. So it's still available. It's just like Optical said. It's just
Yeah.
You know, it's just a matter of like, you don't have, I mean, you still get after sales support, but it's just not the same as like Sideshow.
It's not ideal. Yeah.
Right. Sideshow is pretty hard to top. I mean, that, you know, even like, you know, I buy my Hot Toys from Comic Concepts. Like I've told people that even getting a replacement from Hot Toys because he gets it from Sideshow. Like it's much easier than an in-art one. It's just,
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say, so who's gonna try get the Hot Toys Joker? Anyone here?
I'll try.
I don't think so. No,
I wouldn't even try. No, I wouldn't even.
Yeah, Anakin, I might try. I might try
Anakin.
Anakin.
Yeah.
Okay. Even though I do have Darkseid Anakin, I might just. I mean, I could sell it though, because the problem is though, Optical and PJ, you know for a fucking fact, bro, they're gonna make a Darkseid Anakin with rooted hair.
They
like
will.
it's
They already teased it.
For sure.
I mean,
they teased,
but I think PJ, I think they maybe that's why they haven't shown it yet, because they're like, now that we're going with this whole premium exclusive thing, we're gonna make an exclusive rooted hair Darkseid Anakin.
That will be announced after this sells out.
Can you
I think so. After this one sells out, they'll announce that one. Yeah. Or they'll do it in 2 years for the anniversary. They'll do it then, worst case.
Oh yeah, maybe. But I was gonna say is that like, let me. I'm getting that the Anakin, right? The rooted hair Anakin. I'm I'm an Anakin fan, so I'm most likely gonna keep it. But let me tell you, like I said, like in previous streams before, just like that Mark 46, I love that Mark 46. But if someone offers me $1,000 for my Anakin, I'm putting that plastic.
Somebody probably will, to be honest.
Somebody probably will.
Yeah.
Especially if it sells out and then you can't that's how people are. You know, they like something they can't acquire.
Yeah.
I mean, why do you think look at the Mark 7 and the Short Trooper now compared to what they were?
Yeah.
Like that's same thing.
Remember Mark 5 went for $1,400?
Dude,
that was 47.
The Mark 47.
47.
The Mark 5 was pretty expensive too, but
Mark 5 was like $800. So
but Mark 47 was going for like a ridiculous amount. Yeah, it was crazy. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to end it there. We're going to wrap the stream. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for engaging. I think I have a couple of super chats. I've been so sorry, guys. I've been fucking this one up. My apologies. We've just been so engaged in these topics. My apologies on the super chats. I'm going to get to them. We had one earlier from Masanori Hiraoka. I'm not sure if
the Asians need to step in for this.
Thank you so much. All they said was hi. Thank you so much. Hello to you as well. I appreciate the super chat. Very generous of you. So sorry for the delay there. I know we had a couple others and then we'll wrap it. Let's see here. I know there were a couple of them, but yeah, guys, great chat. Muddy Warrior 499. Thank you so much. Now the fun begins. That was in reference to Anakin Skywalker. Thank you so much, Muddy Warrior. I appreciate it. But yeah, and we're going to see. I honestly want to be awake for the drop for these figures just to see how it goes. Like, I want to see. And we got a new channel member. Thank you so much, Nihilorific. I think I'm pretty sure I pronounced that correctly. Just became channel member. Thank you so much for becoming a channel member. That guy, Mark, he said, am I playing with fire or yes? I don't even need it. Yes, 100%.
It's more than fire that you're playing.
You are
you're playing with lava.
Dynamite.
You're
explode in your face.
You're playing with like a nuke.
Remember what? Yeah, exactly. Remember what happened with Optical and PJ with Justin Pierre Paul when he played with fireworks?
Yeah.
He blew off his fingers. Yeah,
especially he's ordering a pre-order. Ooh, that's dangerous territory there, buddy. If it's in stock, you have a little leverage.
You are lighting a candle.
About years from now. So
you're lighting a candle when in front of a gasoline spill, basically. That's what you're doing. But that's just our opinion. Maybe you'll be fine. I don't know. But I think that's all the super chat, guys. Thank you so much for the kind comments and words. Optical, is there anything, bro, coming up on your channel? I know you put out a bunch of awesome previews. So
I'm at work today, so I might do a stream tonight or tomorrow, but I'm gonna get a different panel because these two are negative. I don't really
we're too negative, bro.
I don't really want to stream with negative people.
Jeez, man.
It's mostly PJ.
Negative Nancy here. So I mean, if you guys are after this, if you guys want to shoot some mean comments to Will, feel free to do so.
It's gonna happen one way or another.
He loves it. So
yeah.
Remember when we took one video, Will, of your old videos, and we like
comment vomit.
So many people tagged me, dude. I was getting so many messages. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, everyone was tagging me. They were like, oh, they were commenting on all my videos. You guys told them to comment something specifically.
Yeah.
And they commented something. And I was like, what are they talking about?
Denim jacket or something.
Yeah, it was like hashtag. It was a blazer or something.
Oh, yeah, the Blazerverse.
Oh, Blazer.
Blazerverse. And I was like, what is this fucking comment? Yeah. Everyone commented.
No, but
it was really weird.
I think we helped the analytics for that video.
Dude, you did. It was an old video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but Optical, yeah, guys, check out Optical stream tonight if he does one. 100% check out the Optical's the first one. Him and Riley do the preview videos, bro. Those two, yeah.
Riley, how is Riley awake at 6 in the morning?
He stays up weird hours, bro. He stays up super weird. Like
does he know that X videos have the same video, whether it's like 10 in the morning or 10, 5?
I think he stays up and waits. He waits for the drops. That's what he does. Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is not like cable when we were younger and you wait till midnight to get some spicy movies in there.
Yeah. With me, it's got to be something really important. I just don't make a preview until later in the day. Like if it's something super crucial, I'm like, all right. But other than that,
yeah, I gave up on those preview videos just because Optical always beats me.
Yeah, Optical's always first. Yeah, he's always first. PJ, dude, what's coming up on your channel, man? Thank you for joining as well.
Yeah, man, it's great streaming with you guys again, man. Again, I'm like the negative person.
You're not. You're not.
Yeah, I know. But no, all honesty though, it was great. Like some spicy topics, and thank you, Will, for coming up with this awesome topics and inviting me to the stream. But for my channel, I know I've been super quiet, 10 months quiet. Specifically because I looked at my channel and I was like, damn, 10 months is like the last time I put a content, but I actually am putting some stuff up. I have the Sideshow Psylocke premium format. I just got in, so I'm reviewing that. So a couple things, I'm getting back slowly but surely, but I'm getting back into the swing of things. So under my Paradox Nerd channel, and Sitcast is on Wednesdays. If you love Star Wars, come hang out with us on Sitcast.
Nice. So well, check out Sithcast, guys. Check out Paradox Nerd. Check out Optical 20. Maybe PJ will be on Optical stream tonight if he's not as negative.
Negative. I don't want that negativity on my chat.
It's the same head sculpt, Optical. Same head.
It is the same head sculpt. That's good.
Now it might be, dude. I don't think it is. I think it's different. But I got that type of flack before. PJ was the new Batman Armory. I was like, I think this is like the same head sculpt as before, and everyone was like, no, like that, So
is it though, or
yeah, I don't think it is, but I thought it was at the time. It was pretty early in the morning, so
okay.
That's why. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining this live stream and engaging in the chat. Thank you so much for the super chats, channel memberships. Appreciate all of you guys with that. Thank you for contributing. Glad the community's engaged and the fire is lit. Thank you, Sideshow and Hot Toys and InArt, of course, for doing this, and other companies too. So yeah, it's pretty exciting time and I'm excited about it. That said, guys, have a good rest of your Monday evening. Thank you. Bye. See you. Bye.